Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
This is TWiT Live special number 338, recorded Tuesday, March 19th, 2019. Google Stadia.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to TWiT's live coverage of Google's gaming announcement. That's right, you heard me correct. I'm Jason Howell. Leo Laporte will be dropping into this empty chair next to me momentarily. Until then, I'm your pilot, and I'm going to guide you through the murky waters or the chaotic airstream that is this Google gaming announcement. Game Developers Conference is happening right now, and we're not usually used to hearing from Google at these events. Maybe they might have little tangential like announcements around it that might have something to do with it. This year seems to be a little bit different. If you remember last year, I think it was like mid to last year, Google made an announcement and opened up a very limited beta around using the Chrome browser, any Chrome browser, in order to stream, I think it was Assassin's Creed, from their servers, stream to a Chrome browser, and you could play with very low latency. Obviously, you had to have a pretty good internet connection in order to do this. But they were testing it out in beta. It was called Project Stream. And we're pretty certain that's what Google is going to announce here. Something almost certainly, definitely related to Project Stream. Now, we don't know if that means that Google's going to say, hey, you have a Chrome browser, anyone can play, or is it going to be something a little bit broader? Are they going to have an actual console? We've heard of rumors called Project Yeti as the gaming console that Google might be working on. Or maybe you already have one. Maybe if you have a Chromecast, you already have a Google gaming console, right? There's Bluetooth enabled inside of the Chromecast, the newer versions of Chromecast, and it's already streaming video. So it's not too far, I don't think, to say that possibly Google is just making this more official, saying we've got this catalog of games in the cloud. You've got a Chromecast with Bluetooth capability, which means you could plug a controller into it. I think some of the rumors that we're hearing about is the Xbox One controller could work with a Chromecast. And so, hey, what do you know? That $35 dongle that you bought, last year and have been streaming video on it, now suddenly it's a game console that can play AAA games, games that we're seeing on all of the top consoles. We don't know how deep it's going to go, but we do know that they used Assassin's Creed as the test game for this. And apparently it worked really well. So Google's starting up the stream now, and so we're going to do live coverage. This is actually pulled directly from the teaser that we saw a few days ago leading up to the event. And like I said, when Leo Laporte gets here, he'll drop in next to me and be able to add as well some color commentary to what we see. But I suppose this means we need to buckle up because Google's about to take us for a ride. So let's see what they have in store for us. Gather round.
Please welcome to the stage the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai.
Google also, by the way, a few days ago unleashed or launched the very early version of Android Q. I've got it running on my Pixel 3. So this has been a busy week for Google. This is their hardware announcement for this week.
Good morning, everyone.
Hello, Leo.
It's great to be here. Thank you all for joining us. I suppose I should start out with a confession. I'm actually not a big gamer, though I do play FIFA 19 quite a bit and really enjoy how immersive it is. Also play Ashes cricket quite a bit. And for those of you who are wondering what cricket is, it's kind of like baseball, but better.
He's apparently a big
Another little-known fact is that Google makes arguably the most played game on the internet today. It's
Pokemon
the Dino
Go.
Chrome game, mostly played when there's no
dinosaur
internet
game.
connection.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yes, when my girls
I'm
discovered
not going
this
to talk
game,
to you about the high-quality graphics and sophistication you all are used to.
This is
But it does have a lot of
gaming
players
cred
who
right
have probably
there.
logged more hours than I care to admit.
That's a pretty slow
While I'm
version
not
of
a
the
big
game.
gamer, I do have the privilege of working at a company and leading a company full of people who love to solve hard computer science problems. For many Googlers, their journey with computers started with games.
Yeah, for me, for sure.
Games have inspired many generations of people to pursue careers in tech. And through that process, they build resourcefulness, creativity, and collaboration. all qualities that are key to solving hard problems. And within Google and Alphabet, games play a big part in developing our own technology. The best example I can think of is how we are making progress on AI. DeepMind's AlphaZero uses self-play to learn from scratch and master games like chess, shogi, and Go.
And one of the questions
An important step towards
today
creating a
is
flexible,
why?
general-purpose system that
And
can
I
learn
think
to solve many foundational problems.
just as Microsoft's HoloLens
More
is really a
recently,
demonstration of their
AlphaStar
Azure
became the
capabilities,
first
this
AI to
could
defeat
be
a top
treated as
professional player at StarCraft
a
2.
proof of concept,
Using a deep neural
not a
network
gaming
trained
system so
directly
much,
from raw game
as a
data.
way to make money, but a proof of concept.
Increasingly,
Google's
games
cloud.
are helping AIs learn to
That's
tackle
true.
real-world challenges. Even beyond DeepMind, another great example we have is Waymo, where we use simulations in gaming-like environments.
And
Test
some have
things that aren't
speculated
actually
that they would do
possible
driving
or
games to
safe
help
in
Waymo. I don't know
real
if that's
world.
the case, but
In fact, Waymo has driven more than
Well,
5
you know,
billion
Google
hours
did
of
announce a
simulations
couple of days
use
ago
scenarios
some advanced kind of
that vehicles would
game
normally
platform
encounter.
additions
We
to
use
Google
it to
Maps.
learn
So,
from it
Yeah.
actually
and
improve the systems.
apparently there were leaked
Be
games.
deployed
One
in
of them, what was it called? Space
the biggest
Janitor,
impact of gaming
that ties
is how it
directly
pushes us
into apparently Google
make
Maps,
leaps
kind of
in computing
sucking up
and
with a
networking
vacuum the
power,
cityscape.
this is
high-fidelity
Assassin's
graphics,
Creed, which they already have
infrastructure
shown
that
as a
supports
Project
all.
Stream game.
Right.
All of you are pushing computing and technology forward, and I find that really exciting. At Google, we've always believed that technology should adapt to people, not the other way around. We've been building towards this vision for some time. For example, when we launched Chrome a decade ago, we envisioned that it could be a modern platform for web applications and bring the power of web to everyone, including use cases that seemed impossible at that time, like high-quality games. Finally, we are making progress towards that goal. In fact, over the past 2 years, we've been hard at work on game streaming technology. And last fall, we launched our first public test with Project Stream. As some of you guessed, a technical test wasn't the whole view of our ambition. It was probably the worst kept secret in the industry. Internally, we were actually testing our ability to stream high-fidelity graphics over a low-latency network. We learned that we could bring a AAA game to any device with a Chrome browser and an internet connection, using the best of Google to create a powerful game platform. And when we say
some
best
solid
of
deals.
Google, it always starts
In
with
order to
the
do
cloud
that.
and networking infrastructure. Our custom server hardware and data centers
So,
can bring more computing power
much like
to
Microsoft,
more
this is
people
about
on planet Earth than anyone else.
Google's network, Google's
Today,
backbone,
we are
Google's
in 19
capabilities.
regions
Right.
and in over 200 countries and territories, connected by hundreds of thousands of miles of fiber optic cable. The best of Google also includes our open platforms that allow you to reach billions of people. With Google, your games will be immediately discoverable by over 2 billion people on a Chrome browser, Chromebooks, Chromecast, Pixel devices.
This is the pitch to
and
game
we have plans
developers
to
to
support
get them
more
to
browsers and platforms
please
over
write
time.
games for this.
That's in addition to all the people playing and watching games across YouTube and Google Play. And when we build these ecosystems, we always take the approach that we only succeed when our partners do. Collectively, our partners across web, Google Play, and YouTube have earned more than $110 billion over the past 4 years alone, and we are committed to this approach here as well. So now
much
we are
did
focused
Google
on our
make of that?
next big effort, which is to build a game platform
more.
for everyone.
Well, less, but
And when we say for everyone,
30%. I mean, Apple
we
makes
really
30%,
mean it.
right?
It's one of our most cherished values as a company. Be it Android or Chrome or AI, we are dead serious about making technology accessible for everyone. But if you think about games, there are a lot of barriers for users to play high-end games. Beautiful graphics really need high-end consoles or PCs. And games don't have instant access. Think about the way the web works. You can easily share a link, and it works seamlessly. We want games to feel that way too. Instantly enjoyable with access for everyone. I think we can change the game by bringing together the power and creativity of the entire community. People who love to play games, people who love to watch games, and people who love to build games.
Integration into YouTube.
That means all of you.
Yeah, that was the
We are
play
really
button,
excited to
wasn't
work
it? Yeah.
with you. We want to
So that
build
was
a
the other
platform.
rumors. They went do a
We
Twitch
want you to
competitor.
show us what's possible. And together, I think
YouTube
we can
has-
create a new games
There's a lot of gaming how-tos, but
Right.
not much of the live gaming, not compared to Twitch.
Compared to Twitch, they have the platform
From the
for it,
beginning
obviously,
of
but
Games have brought us together.
also hearing that there might be some integrations around allowing someone who's watching a live stream jump into the particular game that's being
Wouldn't
played
that be cool?
at that point.
Watching it on Chrome
Almost
and then
like
play.
and play against the people who are playing in front of them. Who knows how much of that is truth?
And,
but
and if
these are
that's
the rumors
possible,
of this
then
world.
really you want to go beyond traditional games. You want to. This is an opportunity to do some interesting stuff,
for sure.
collaborative stuff, even social stuff.
Town and village had a place where anyone could play.
Just in time for Google Plus to go away. Yeah,
Thousands of years in,
We weren't good at social, so we're going to try gaming.
we're gonna do this other kind of social.
But honestly, this is
Yeah.
really what social.
the new era of gaming needs a new place to gather.
Yeah, the new era of gaming, and then esports too. A lot of people think Google might have esports ambitions.
Where anything you dream can be built. Playgrounds for every imagination. One place where you and
So a
everyone
number of
you
those
know
were Twitch style
and
streams.
everyone they
Yep.
know will all play together.
Let's go, squad! Let's go!
Was that guy sitting naked in a bathtub of something?
Welcome to the internet.
Okay. Just
Welcome to Google.
maybe I mean, rubbing my
Where
eyes.
everyone will play
Where did he come from?
and watch
Yes! High five! Right, bam!
and create.
So they're very much going after Twitch with this thing.
With this
From any
promo.
I think make it social. Really make it social. That's going to be the interesting thing. Even Twitch is still one to many for
One place.
a lot of it.
Yeah.
For all the ways we play.
But there is that sense when you're in the chat room on Twitch that you're part of a group, a community
Stadia.
watching somebody.
So
Stadia.
Stadia
Now we
is
have the name.
Gather
The
round.
branding, and that was the
That's
that
good
swirly S was what some people who
Superman.
got a look at the area yesterday were.
This is
saying,
smart.
what does the S mean? It's
Because this
Stadia.
doesn't just say a place to play games. This is a place to gather.
Welcome to Stadia. We are so
It
excited
has
by
a real
this.
esports
To do this well, it's important that we have the right people working on this. Experts with deep
This is
history
probably where
and
they
heritage
introduced
in
Jade
games.
Raymond, who's a
That starts with Phil
big
Harrison,
acquisition, a new Google
who joined us
VP.
about a year ago. He's a great leader and a great gamer. Definitely someone who knows the difference between RPGs and NPCs. I'm going to pass the mic over to Phil to show you what we have built. Take it away, Phil.
Thank you, Sundar.
This is Phil Harrison.
Thank you, Sundar. It's such a pleasure to be here today, and thank you for joining us at GDC.
He was from
as we
Sony and
finally get to
Microsoft.
share
He was at
Google's vision
Xbox.
for the future of
Former
games,
corporate vice president there.
where the worlds of watching and
last
playing
January.
games converge into a new generation game platform purpose-built for the 21st century, powered by the best of Google. Our vision for Stadia is simple: one place for all the ways we play. It's focused on gamers, inspired by developers, and amplified by YouTube creators. Today, our industry captivates over 2 billion players from all around the world. At the center of that community, its beating heart, are the game developers, the people in this room that create the most incredible game experiences that delight players with engrossing
He was
stories,
on the advisory board at
characters, and
Gaikai,
worlds
which was the
through a
streaming
dazzling
gaming
display
service
of
Oh, that's right.
technology,
that Sony
artistry,
purchased.
and magic. Games are now the single biggest form of
Joined
entertainment
Google
on
almost
the
exactly a
planet,
year
one that
ago.
connects a vast community across geographies, cultures, and language.
Presumably, he's been
And
developing
within that
this ever
passionate
since.
community, there is a universe of people who love playing games, and there's a universe of people who love watching games.
Yeah.
Hundreds of millions of people watch gaming content every single day on YouTube. But those two worlds are mostly disconnected.
Now we see Google's interest, because if people are watching,
independent
they're
of
also
each
going to see
other.
ads.
Our vision is to bring those worlds closer together, to connect game developers with players and YouTube creators in a way that only Google can, creating a richer and more vibrant gaming community for everyone to enjoy.
there's
What
the
about
social
ads for
part.
people who are playing?
Through the power of our data centers, the
Let alone people who are
extraordinary
watching.
reach and community of YouTube, and our investments in the fundamental technologies that are the foundations of the open internet,
They do have all the pieces of the puzzle,
a truly
don't they?
unique opportunity
Absolutely.
to combine these worlds. We will be handing that extraordinary power of the data center over to you, the game developers, where playgrounds for every imagination can be created. Our first public test of this came in October of last year with Project Stream, where we streamed a AAA HD game at up to 1080p and 60 frames per second over the internet from Google data centers to a Chrome browser.
They did it so
We were
briefly, I
humbled by the
wasn't able to get
overwhelmingly
into the
positive response from
test.
players who
They
were
kept
able
it really
to join
limited.
us on
Yeah.
Project Stream.
For sure.
A huge thank you to those of you who participated in Project Stream and for your vital feedback. And also to the amazing people at Ubisoft for trusting us
Amazing
with the
that you could
latest
do that with
incarnation of their
with
incredible
next
game
to no lag,
franchise,
as this tweet
Assassin's
is
Creed.
saying, you know.
Ubisoft has
Gaming,
always been at the
that lag is
forefront
very
of advancements
perceptible.
in the games industry, and they have an incredible track record of success and creativity. And joining us here in the audience today, I'm delighted to welcome the CEO and co-founder of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot. Thank you, Yves.
sitting next to Phil Osterloh, Google Hardware.
So yeah, and that's the question.
I'd
Is like,
Sounds like hardware
will there
might
be
be here.
will there be
Yeah.
hardware?
with
Yeah.
us, and to producer
Yeti
Marc-Alexis
is, I think,
Cote
the code
and the
name of that.
entire Ubisoft Quebec studio for their masterpiece creation, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Thank you for bringing your game to our platform, and congratulations for being the first game played by the public on Stadia. As many of you experienced with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, we now have the ability to take a sophisticated, graphically intense AAA game and stream it to a Chrome browser running on a simple laptop without any sacrifice to the quality or vision of the game developer. As successful as Project Stream was, our ambition is, of course, far beyond a single game.
Of course.
As we developed our strategy for this new platform, we asked developers how we can help solve some of the most critical challenges you face. There were three very clear themes that resonated. You told us you wanted to unleash your creativity without limits, get to the widest possible scale, and make it easier for people to connect with your games.
And when he says
We
you, of
used
course,
these
he's
three
talking to
themes
developers.
to
This is a
anchor
game
our
developers
developers,
conference.
build our platform architecture, and began to share it
And
with the leading
create
publishers
could be the
and
interesting
developers in the world.
component of this.
Yeah.
Now,
If they're able
Is
to
there a
bake
platform?
into the
How we
game
Yeah.
brought this vision
ways to
life.
connect and interact with
Right.
Stadia directly.
Imagine you are watching games on YouTube
That
and you
could be a
discover
big
the
killer,
latest
not a killer,
Assassin's
but
Creed
definitely
Odyssey
challenge to
trailer
Twitch.
on Ubisoft's official channel on YouTube. You will notice the Play Now button.
Right
By
there in
simply
YouTube.
clicking on
Holy
that button,
cow,
In
the
YouTube.
player is brought directly into the game in a browser in as quick as
In
5
YouTube.
seconds.
5
Wow.
seconds.
With
5-second
no
launch.
download.
That's so cool.
That's a pretty compelling
Yeah, it is.
play there.
I like that game I just watched the video for. I think I'll play it right now.
Yeah.
Click. Go.
With no download, no patch, no update, and no install.
Of course, one of the
Stadia
biggest
offers instant access
issues
to
people
play.
face these days,
Our
with most
platform
games being
vision for Stadia is to
downloadable, they're
reduce
often
the
10
friction
gigabytes
between
and
getting
more,
excited
sometimes
about a
40,
game and
lots of
playing a game.
updates.
On Stadia,
Every time I
you
turn
just
on my
need to click
Xbox,
on a
it
YouTube
needs to be
video
updated.
or link, and you can be
you're
playing
locked
your
until it
game
does.
instantly.
But the real
Compare
question is going to
that
be, how do they
today,
handle latency?
Where gamers are all too familiar with
Are there
things
certain
like
types
this.
of games that you can do this with and certain types of
Stadia,
games
Well, that's
that
why
you
they
can't?
used
Waiting game
Assassin's
will be a
Creed,
thing
because that
of
is,
the past.
latency is, any first-person game
The
latency is
power
a
of
killer.
instant access is magical and has already transformed the music and movie
Like
industries.
a fighting
And with
game, I feel
Stadia,
like
it
might
is
ramp
now
that up.
available
Any
at the
first-person
highest
shooter, you're gonna
level
have,
of gaming.
Another Twitch. You know.
Really
Wouldn't it
difficult
be even
time.
more magical if that same game and that same instant experience could be available across any screen type in your life?
This is,
A key benefit
That's a
of
big
our
play. You put
platform
that play button
is
on
that
YouTube,
a
that's
single
huge.
creative vision and a single
And on any
code base
platform, 'cause it
can
doesn't
now be
need the
enjoyed
horsepower.
instantly across any screen.
and it kind of
At
co-ops
launch,
Apple,
we'll
because
support
Apple's trying
being
to
able
sell
play
games
across
on the iPad.
desktops,
They don't need to sell them.
Laptops, TV,
Also,
tablets,
got a little
and
break
phones.
up on our video here, yeah.
The video.
This
But you do
new
see the
generation
Chromecast
of
in the
gaming
background.
is not a box.
So then now you've got a
Oh, yeah,
Chrome,
there's a
a
Chromecast.
Stadia,
console
the data
to your
center is
TV,
your
just
platform. There is
like all
no
the other consoles you
console
might
that
have,
limits
or
the
not have.
developer's creative ideas, and no console that limits where gamers can play. And we're about to show this to you now. This is not a concept, it's not a test, this is real. I'd like to bring my
Sign
friend
me up.
Khaled to the stage to show you this working.
This is really exciting.
Yeah, it's cool. I think so many people would love to, you know, if they aren't already gaming, get into
So,
gaming, but
imagine
price
you
is
just
such a
discovered
big
that game for the
limitation.
first time.
You know,
You're
just
running
for the
it on
console
Chrome
itself
browser,
to get started.
and here it is on a Pixelbook running the Chrome OS. There is basically no hardware acceleration on that laptop whatsoever.
This kind of demo is not going to be
running directly from our data center.
Probative, just because he's probably on a gigabit network.
Instantaneous.
Right.
Directly
Well, that's the
connected
other
to the data center.
Exactly
the other question.
Onto the phone here on a Pixel 3
What
XL.
kind of broadband
So
connection?
the concern isn't really the horsepower of the device at all.
No.
Once
It's
again,
a dumb
no
terminal,
loss
really.
of
It's a dumb
quality,
terminal.
and we
It's
can go
internet
straight
connection.
onto the desktop PC. We actually went to buy the least
I don't know if they're
powerful
using
PC
WebML
we could
or-
find here. And we could enjoy the same vision that the developer had, the same high-quality 1080p stream at 60 frames per second, and the full game vision, regardless of the hardware that
And
you're
I'm
using.
sure some people
And then it's
probably
once again
curious would
seamless
thumb
to
their
go
noses at
from
1080p,
running
right?
on our
Be
PC
like, oh, only
to running on a
1080p.
tablet.
Well,
In this case,
I
once
think I
again,
could live with that.
running the
Yeah.
Chrome
And I think it gives
OS,
Google
on a Pixel
some space
slate.
to grow into it, too.
There's your slate.
Oh, my Slate. Look at it playing that game so well.
Is that
See,
controller
you're not useless after all.
is that a Google
And then
controller? What
finally-
is
It
that?
might
Then
be,
move
they're saying that there might be a
seamlessly to the
Google
TV.
controller announcement. I
So
do
this
also
TV
know, or
is
I've heard
accessed
about Xbox
using
One.
this,
So here's
which is
Chromecast.
a Chromecast Ultra HDMI streamer.
Ah.
There is
Chromecast
no
Ultra.
console required to
And
read.
that's all.
There you go.
And it looks like, I mean, wow. Do you have to Chromecast from your phone? I guess you would to start it.
Well, that would send the link, and then it would, yeah,
Of course,
probably.
if you have
Thanks,
YouTube on your
Khaled. Great
TV, maybe.
presentation.
Wow.
Shoot, could you imagine, on your TV selecting from a list of games, just being like, I want to play that. Yeah, I mean, it's like a limited game collection from your TV.
Welcoming
That's
any and all
cool.
players is fundamental to Stadia, where you can try with your friends on devices you already own. And as such, we're also enabling players to use your existing USB controller
Yeah.
or mouse and keyboard when playing Stadia on a laptop or PC. By eliminating that friction, that barrier to entry, we
There's
will
no
make
hardware
it simple
purchase at all.
and easy for players
So
who
what's
want
the
to
monthly
try
cost?
Stadia for the first time.
Or is there a monthly cost?
But of course, we will have our
Oh,
own
that's
controller
Apple's-
that has been uniquely designed
They are
to
gonna have their own
enhance the
controller.
experience for the
And
Stadia
you
player.
will want their
I'd like to
controller.
introduce you to the newest member of the Google
and
hardware.
the one
that
you
was
was,
the
yeah,
Google
it was the
controller.
one,
Stadia
yeah.
controller.
And not, Paul Thurrott's already looked at the sneak of this, and as a
This is
serious
your
gamer,
gateway
was
to
very
the best
unhappy
of
with the
Stadia.
thumb controls
It enables
Oh,
you
really?
to access
position.
the
Yeah,
full
normally
Stadia
they'd be higher up
experience.
where the
And there are many advantages to the Stadia
Oh, okay.
controller.
XY
And the
axis
first is that it will connect through Wi-Fi directly to the game that is running in the Google Data Center. The Stadia controller identifies
it's got
which
Chromecast
screen
in
or
it.
device you want to play on and links it with your game session running in
That's
the cloud.
really interesting.
Ensuring the highest possible performance
because then it doesn't
and the
have to
best
translate
experience for players.
Through the
Yeah.
the
That
In
might
connected
help
addition
with
to the
latency,
standard
yeah.
functions
Yeah,
you'd
that'll
expect to
reduce
see on a
latency.
modern game
You'll want
controller,
good Wi-Fi.
the Stadia controller features two very important new buttons. The capture button
assisted,
is
of
for
course.
sharing and saving your game experience.
a dedicated
back out to
capture button.
YouTube. The gamer
So on
can choose to
Xbox
share
and
their
PlayStation, you
experiences
can
starting
use
with a click of
verbal
this
commands
button
to say,
themselves,
capture
to their
that.
friends, or to the world.
But having
They
a
are in
button
control.
is huge.
And the second one is the Google Assistant button. Pressing this button allows players
course.
to immediately access the controller's built-in microphone
Google
so they
wouldn't
can
release
get help
anything
from the
without that
assistant
button on
for
it.
special in-game features integrated by developers.
headphone jack embedded in the controller.
Imagine
Our
as
goal with
the
Stadia
assistant
is to
gets
help
smarter,
fuel developer
it becoming your
creativity at every level.
assistant in the
And
game.
next,
Don't you
we'll
want to
take a look
turn left here?
Yeah.
power we have
Or
custom-built
take
into our
that,
data
take
centers
the
will further
left, I'll
accelerate
take the right, you go left,
It
I'll go
becomes your
I'd like to
companion.
introduce
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
friend
Well, that could
colleague,
absolutely
the head
happen.
of engineering for Stadia, Majd Bakar.
Thanks so much, Bill.
I wonder if Jade Raymond will come on stage. I can't imagine she won't.
Let's look at the real-time computing power we have put into our data centers that will change how we view what a game platform can be.
Majd Bakar is VP of Project
In
Stream.
order to deliver an amazing experience for your games, we needed to bring powerful computing closer to users. We've built Stadia's architecture on top of the Google Data Center network, the same network that has been delivering search results to your fingertips in milliseconds for more than 20 years. The network consists of fiber optic links
Checking all
and
the boxes
subsea
here.
cables between hundreds of points of presence and more than 7,500 edge node locations around the globe, all connected with our network backbone. Stadia is built on infrastructure that no one else has. More edge nodes mean the compute resources are closer to players, which results in better performance.
The latency issue, of course.
We took that proven model and infused it with custom-designed, purpose-built gaming hardware, creating the most powerful and connected gaming platform. Each of Stadia's data center is composed of interconnected racks that deliver the high-power graphics, memory, and storage needed to run the most demanding games. Only with Google can you apply the power and flexibility of data centers to game development. This architecture is the foundation for this new generation of gaming. We've been testing this technology privately within Google for years. For our initial public test with Project Stream in 2018, we delivered up to 1080p 60 frames per second with stereo audio. When Stadia launches, we will have increased performance significantly to support resolutions up to 4K at 60 frames per second with HDR and surround sound. And in the future, we'll be able to stream games in up to 8K resolution.
Wow. So that's, one of the questions is, are AAA hardcore gamers going to care about this, or is this more for casual gamers to bring a new group in? But if they really could offer low latency, high quality gaming, maybe.
I mean, I imagine professional gamers are going to test it for sure. And it really just depends on how, they're the ones that are the most critical as far as requiring that no latency experience. If it comes out and proves that it can do it, why wouldn't you?
That you can choose to share directly to YouTube from the Stadia data center, meaning your gaming memories will be saved at the highest possible quality. Stadia is not constrained by the limitation of traditional console systems. Instead, we have built a truly flexible, scalable, and modern platform that allows us to push performance beyond what was previously considered possible.
I'm far from a hardcore gamer, but I am a game sampler, and this is the kind of thing that I think people like me would be very interested in. I like to try them all.
Yeah. And thanks to fast transfer speed between the Stadia instances in our data center, our platform can
that's what we're waiting for: price, game availability, and when we can start playing it,
along with the need of your games. As a developer, you're used to being forced to tone down your creative ambition that are limited by the hardware. But our vision with Stadia is that the processing resources available will scale up to match your imagination. In this new generation, the data center is your platform.
And incidentally, that is a pitch
with our friends at
for more than
AMD
gaming.
to build a custom GPU. I'd like to personally thank Dr. Lisa Su, AMD President and CEO, who is here with us today. Lisa and her team helped us design a chip to bring you more than 10 teraflops of power, which we've coupled with a custom CPU to make up a single Stadia instance. And here's how the
that's interesting. So you get a dedicated processor with more processing power than an Xbox One X or a PS4 Pro.
Wow.
Like twice as much. Wow. Is right.
You can see that a single Stadia instance is a big step
So your
forward.
instance is a dedicated machine.
10.7 teraflops is more powerful than the top two consoles of the previous generation combined.
I wonder what kind of exclusives they have lined up. That in order to support this and say, hey, we are a new console.
Maybe. I don't know if you need exclusives. This is interesting. You certainly have to have some big AAA titles.
API, Vulkan.
There's a little tip of the hat in an earlier graphic to Skyrim.
That we have partnered with
see if you have Unreal Engine,
that
means you have Fortnite.
We're also partnering with Unity to bring full support for the two most popular
these are the
game
big
engines
players
to our development community. And we're empowering developers with an amazing array of familiar middleware that you already use to power your game development, including the most popular physics engine, Havoc.
This is very
here's
big.
A list
this is all the main
of our
players.
Partners now. And of course, this list will continue to grow over time.
I'm trying to read this as best I can.
With this suite of tools, game development can evolve as quickly as the imagination of content creators.
Studio Vulkan.
To achieve that, we're providing multiple ways to make
Cry
games
engine
for
on there, which
Stadia.
means Crysis will be on
You
it.
can develop on our cloud, your cloud, and at your desk.
But if they have the big engines,
Our goal
they'll get the
is
game
to make
studio.
Stadia
Yes,
the
but we'll
most
see.
flexible development environment ever
Why
put
wouldn't
together.
you?
Why wouldn't you take
put
advantage?
this on your?
Yeah.
And that power is, of course, used to
I
create
guess
the best
because you might
content.
not make as much money.
Our first guest is from a company known for creating the most sophisticated and impressive gaming experiences in the industry that always demand the most of every system they run on.
This has to be scary for
give our
Sony and
friends at
Microsoft.
id early access to our tools and
id,
technology.
of course, the creators of
It's
Doom
my
and
absolute pleasure
Quake.
to welcome to the stage executive producer from id, Marty Stratton.
Hi, everyone.
They've got the Stadia bug now down in the lower right, and the hashtag
I'm
Stadia in the lower
to
left.
be part of a team at id that has spent more than 25 years on the bleeding edge of technical innovation. When we first met with Google about game streaming, frankly, we were skeptical about how it would work, and in particular, how it could work with a game like Doom. However, we recognized not just your ability and resources
Of course,
to make
people have been
game
doing this for
streaming
more
a
than 10
reality,
years. OnLive went out
but
of
more
business because
importantly,
they couldn't support
passion
peak usage.
to support
they
a
had to have
game
too many
as
servers
fast,
online that were unused
fluid,
during non-peak
and
usage.
uncompromising
Google's not going to have that
No,
issue.
Google wouldn't have that at all.
After all, if you're going to
That was
prove
the
to
only
the
thing
world
that sunk
that you can
online.
stream
That's what
games from
OnLive
the
said.
cloud,
Is that was the
what
problem?
better proof than Doom?
They couldn't afford to keep all
And
the
if you're going
servers
to prove
online.
to a
they needed
developer
to.
that you're serious about building a robust platform, what better team than id, where we
The only
push
thing
every
that could doom
platform
this,
to its limit.
well, I'm sure there are many things that could,
In fact,
but
back in 2016,
Google deciding
Doom
it's no
was the
longer
first
interested in it.
AAA game
3 or
released
4 years from
on
now
Vulkan.
deciding.
So
And because Stadia is built on that
Doom
same
Eternal.
Vulkan API, it didn't take us more than a few weeks to get our upcoming sequel, Doom Eternal, looking
Will
and
be on
playing
Stadia.
great on Stadia.
based on the Havoc
Built
engine.
on the fun and sense of power players expect from the series, Doom Eternal is a pure and unfiltered action
This is a smart
FPS
launch
experience.
title. Everybody
You play
knows
as
the
an
name Doom.
unstoppable
Yeah,
hero
absolutely.
sent to destroy hell's fiercest demons across an expanding universe of unbelievable locations. We couldn't be happier to be bringing Doom Eternal to Stadia and are thrilled to announce that the game will be capable of running at true 4K resolution with HDR color at an unrelenting 60 frames per
Can't
second.
wait to put this on my Chromecast Ultra on my OLED, 4K OLED with HDR.
I guess I got to get a Chromecast Ultra. I did only just recently get a 4K TV,
Yeah.
so
We
it
can't
might
wait to show you more of Doom Eternal very soon, in fact. We have the full game running on Stadia, live from Google data centers, and you can see it today at our developer session. It starts at 12:30 over in West Hall. You won't want to miss it. Thank you to Google and Stadia team for giving us this opportunity to share a bit
Now,
about Doom
Doom
Eternal.
is not
Thanks
a
so much.
currently hot game by any means. So
What kind of, I haven't heard the kind of buzz around Doom Ultra.
Privileged to work with id and your incredible engineers and creators. For anyone who knows the franchise, you know
of
Doom
course,
Eternal
George
will
Romero's
look
long
and play
gone.
amazingly well
Or
on
Eternal,
our
not
platform.
Ultra.
It was important for us to partner with a developer like id so that we could prove, not just to ourselves, but to the entire industry, that our platform is capable of supporting the most demanding titles. And Doom will be running on a single Stadia GPU. The fundamental benefit of our cloud-native infrastructure is that developers will be able to take advantage of hardware and power in ways never before possible. And that includes taking advantage of the power of multiple GPUs
No
at
way.
once. We've asked our friends at UL Benchmarks, makers of 3D Mark, to put Stadia to the test. In this video, you can see some comparison points showing the difference between our single GPU and multiple GPUs. What you see here on the left of the line is running on a single 10.7 teraflop GPU. And on the right of the line, you can see the same content running on Stadia using multiple GPUs. In this demo, we're highlighting real-time fluid deformation. Accurate water simulation is one of the most compute-intensive effects for games. And it's a powerful example of what Stadia is capable of. And I'm so excited to see where game developers go with this kind of performance.
I'm wondering, though, if
When
you
we
can
designed
guarantee
Stadia, our goal
multi-GPU.
was
I
to
wonder if
solve
Right, lock
many
it
of the
in,
pain
yeah,
points
somehow.
that we've heard about from developers, particularly those related to multiplayer.
I also wonder what kind of
In
bandwidth
traditional
this requires,
platforms, the
'cause
client
don't
and
forget
server
most
are
Americans
connected
have
by the unpredictable internet.
pretty poor, pretty
and therefore, the
bandwidths.
multiplayer experience is limited
Don't
by
worry,
the
we can
client
rely
and
on
bandwidth
Google
caps.
Fiber.
Poor
Yeah.
quality connection.
Yeah.
But with Stadia, that game client and server both remain on Google's networking
Yeah, they're talking
backbone,
about the infrastructure,
resulting in
but
predictable
the last
low
mile is
latency,
really going to be
reliable
critical.
Big
connectivity,
time.
and data security, since no traffic gets exposed to the public internet. Developers who use Google's data centers can create a predictable multiplayer experience that scales to an order of magnitude greater than anything enjoyed by gamers today. What that means is a synchronized state across a very high volume of players, where innovations like distributed physics can be built into your games, where battle royale games could go from hundreds of players today to thousands of players tomorrow. And yes, no cheating and no hacking. Google has always
a big
believed
promise.
that the
We'll
world
see.
is a better place when we are able to connect without barriers. And as a new generation game platform,
Imagine
Stadia
a battle
will,
royale
of
game with
course, embrace
thousands of
full
players.
cross-platform play.
That's intriguing. Cross-platform is important too, because it won't matter if you're on a phone or a
Developers will have
Chromebook
the
or
ability to
a
enable
big-screen TV.
cross-platform multiplayer for all players,
That's
and
interesting.
even
To
bring
Google,
game
it doesn't
saves
matter.
and progression
Just
across
screens.
as well.
Right.
I'd now like to introduce a member of Stadia's R&D team who are pushing the envelope, bringing the best of Google to game developers. Please welcome to the stage our lead designer for research and development at Stadia, Erin Hoffman-John.
I guess I don't need a Chromecast Ultra. I have the Shield TV. It's 4K.
There you go.
So that'll
Yeah,
work.
the Shield TV would be a great device for this.
Yeah.
Although NVIDIA may not be too
One
thrilled
of our
about
team's
this all.
favorite comments about Project Stream was a tweet that described Stadia's technology as the work of wizards. And we are incredibly fortunate to work with wizards every day, bending their magic toward games. I'd like to take you through a few technologies and features that we've been working on that are going to enhance the game development process for developers big and small. The first one is focused on multiplayer. Stadia not only provides high-performing multiplayer experiences from player to player, but also allows developers to create new, gorgeous gaming environments. Our friends at Tangent Games have been working with us on a technical proof of concept that you can see here behind me. They spent a few short weeks creating this beautiful multiplayer world with a persistent, massively destructible environment. It is a raw demonstration of scale and power using the best
Incidentally,
of
if you can
Stadia
send
technology,
40K,
where every piece of
4K
the
at 60
environment in
frames,
this
you can of
multiplayer
course do
world
VR
is
as well.
destructible using real-time
Well, that was what I was
rigid
wondering
body
as well.
Using Google's
Different kind of
unique
hardware
infrastructure,
component
developers can
requirement.
create
Obviously,
games
Well, they already
built
have
to house
Daydream,
hundreds
but I
of
think
players with low latency and
you'd
perfect
need something
synchronization.
You need something
connected, right?
beefier,
This
yeah.
demo will be available on the show floor if you want to check it out this week.
Who knows? They're wizards.
As we were building
think
the
you could
platform,
do this.
we collaborated with
Doesn't
individual
Daydream
developers, but we also
use,
thought about
an
trends
like
in
Android
gaming
device?
development.
Yeah,
We thought about our
absolutely.
most
Yeah.
treasured gaming memories. Something kept coming back.
Just another screen.
Something that we'd lost. When modern games start to push the boundaries of current hardware, rendering 2 or more scenes simultaneously becomes too resource intensive. And so split-screen couch co-op has been fading from gaming. But when all of your
It's true.
clients are in the cloud, couch multiplayer
My
has
wife and
new
I have been
life
looking
again
for a
through
great
Stadia
co-op game we
in
could
what
play.
we're calling Stream Connect. In the past, the resources required to execute split-screen co-op have required developers to sacrifice more of their creative goals.
Yeah.
With Stream Connect,
Oh, yeah,
we're making
because
it
you could have a
possible to
different
realize
Stadia
split-screen
instance for each
multiplayer without
Right.
any performance
player.
penalty.
Oh, that's interesting.
Behind me, you'll see a technology proof of concept that we built at Google. It's called the Night Forest, a co-op demo with asymmetric player roles.
That's
Here we
really
have 2
exciting.
players, one hunter on the ground and a supporting aerial player, set up in a standard split-screen view. Each of these screens is powered by a separate Stadia
Hasn't been a great
instance.
co-op game since
But what would happen
GoldenEye, I
in
think.
squad-based games, developers
This
can
is
allow
this is
players
really
to call up
exciting.
the views of their teammates on demand, or utilize any polygonal surface as a receiver for another player's video stream. Stream Connect
So
makes
you
this
could be
possible
sitting
with
next to each other on the
extremely little
couch
effort
using
on the
different
part of the developer,
screens.
bringing dynamic squad-based gaming into easy reach, even for very
Or
small
splitting
teams.
to the same screen.
Yeah, but
We've
of
shown you
course,
3 views, but we can keep going.
But no, you're right. If
I have a
everybody has
Pixelbook
their own
on my
screen,
lap,
yeah,
yeah, it's
absolutely.
much better.
Right.
giving a designer not
It's
one
like a local
but
LAN
many
party
cameras
again.
into a scene.
This is an
imagine
advantage
you could go
Stadia
beyond
has
scene
because
into players' worlds.
you can have multiple
What if you could
GPUs and CPUs on the same
Here we have our streams configured
direct
into
connect
a command
network.
center,
Right.
where a fourth player can coordinate the movements of our drone, scientist, and hunter characters.
This is really
Now that
interesting.
coordinator is reaching into the world and placing a beacon to call attention to a particular location, seen instantly by the other players. Stream Connect
This
is
is
just
going
one
to
of the
change
ways
the
Google is working
texture of
to support
E3
developers in
dramatically.
creating more immersive and creative experiences.
I'm sure
whether bringing
Sony and
back
Microsoft are
effortless
scrambling at this
co-op
point.
Or inventing entirely new multiplayer games. Our next technology demo focuses on the power of the Google Cloud and machine learning, and how they can have an impact on accelerating developer creativity. Every developer feels the burn in pre-production to get to a game's magic sooner. We think Google's machine learning technology might have some answers. Here to talk about it is a developer known for creating some amazing, stylish, and celebrated independent games, including Deadlight, Rhyme, and The Invisible Hours. Please welcome Chairwoman of Tequila Works, Luz Sancho.
Thank you, Erin. I am very excited to be here for the unveiling of the Stadia platform. There are so many different benefits that Stadia delivers to all developers, big and small, and particularly for a studio like ours. At Tequila Works, we are very proud of the art styles of our games. It's something we spend a lot of time perfecting. Our development cycles typically last 24 months, and as you can imagine, a large part of that time is dedicated to defining the art style of the game. We are particularly proud of Rhyme. Its visual identity created a lasting impression with our players. But it took us a long time to get to that final style.
This is a smart pitch.
That's
This
why
is
we
something
were
Sony
so
did so well,
excited
which is
to
appeal
hear
to
from
indie
Google
game
about
developers
one
and
of the tools they are
studios.
making available.
Microsoft
An
has done less
amazing
well
tool
with this.
that will dramatically influence
But I think it's
and
going to
ease
be key to
this process.
Stadia's success is to
With
have,
a style
because
transfer,
it's going to be
ML,
hard to get the
Google
big,
is
get the
applying
Electronic Arts of the
science
world
of
to
machine
come
learning
along.
to art visualization.
Style transfer is a machine learning technology that runs on the video frame created by the game. All of this happens in real time on a Stadia instance. We built this demo to show you what it can do. We start with a gray box world and take any image we want, in this case, Kandinsky's yellow, red, blue, and the model does the rest.
What?
Throw it Starry Night, and you have another style.
What the what?
Give it scratch art,
Wow.
and you get this. We're doing our part to empower the artist inside of every developer. The R&D team iterated through hundreds of art styles testing this technology, and one of our favorites came from an old friend.
Oh, look at that. They've got a Pac-Man back. Well, it's hard to describe it.
That would be a hard game
Hard
to play.
yeah.
But
What
I
excites
appreciate
us
it.
and some of our partners so far is how many
That's really
playable
cool.
art styles we can create just by feeding it more and
They're
more
avoiding
images.
a couple of the
It
most
inspires and
important
empowers
elements.
our
Of course, you know,
artists to
this
get
is all
the visions in their
exciting for
heads
developers,
into interactive
but
environments
what's it going
in
to
a whole
cost them
new
to
way.
be on this
And this
platform?
is
What
just
is
the
the
beginning.
financial arrangement?
We are using
And of course, we don't know how well this is
transfer
going to
in
work.
our studio
Right.
today.
At the end of the day,
And we are
I have to feel
blown
it's
away by
I have to feel like it's going to
having
work
on
because
our
why would
latest
Google be doing
creation.
this if they
You
didn't
will
have
see
some
it.
confidence?
This could
That a
everybody
majority
was
of-
playing around with the beta
everything.
seemed pretty
Thank you
darn
so much.
positive
Yeah.
with it.
Thank
There's a
beginning.
certain irony in the Google GDC stream breaking up
Yeah, right.
during it.
Thank
but
you, Luth. With Style Transfer, our goal is to help developers find the magic of their games quicker. You can check out Style Transfer during the show this week.
That's
we can't
neat.
wait to hear your feedback. Creators inspire us to bring the best of Google to games, and creators are at the heart of Stadia. It isn't just what they create, but how those moments are experienced by players, moments that resonate for generations to come.
What is this, $9.99
The
a
last
month?
feature we want to introduce today
If it's
is
truly
another
the
special
Netflix of
experience
gaming.
made possible by the cloud. It's called State Share. And here to talk about it from Q Games
State
is Dylan
Share.
Cuthbert.
This is what I was talking about earlier, I think, where someone can actually jump into a game that's being played on the live stream right at that point.
It's great to be here with all of you today. As a veteran game developer, I love how creators on YouTube have brought our games to life.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But I've always wished those experiences could be more social and even more fun. And I'm extremely excited by what I've learned from Google about bringing new ways to share a game's replayable moments. With a new technology called State Share, developers can let a player instantly share a playable moment from a game. This could include the world state, the player's position, items they're carrying, anything the developer wants to pack into a shareable moment.
Wow.
The game's state can be encoded
This is fantastic.
into a link.
This is crazy. You can't do this anywhere else.
To pick up the game.
This is network native.
This could be sent to one player, or it could be shared with thousands at the same time on YouTube, through email,
It's
apps,
huge. Much better than
messaging,
sharing a clip.
Wherever links can go.
Jump right in.
To me, this totally changes how I think about the
to see
experiences
how
for players.
long-time dedicated
I can
Twitchers
create
feel
moments
about this, because this brings
specifically for this kind of
Twitch as a platform
Challenges
plus
to beat
all of
my
these
incredible
extras.
speed runs, or chances for other players to also experience.
Honestly, I don't
those
think Google
same,
cares. I think the
tough
upside is what they're thinking about, and new gamers
build
and a
as
new
many
generation.
For sure,
moments
new
as I want.
generation.
Yeah.
And let the
And
internet
I think
turn
you're going
my
to see a
whole
lot of
game
hate
into an infinitely
from
replayable treasure hunt.
existing console
I was so
gamers and
intrigued with the
PC
possibilities
gamers, and
of State Share
Google knows
that I
that.
designed
Yeah.
a brand
And they
new
don't care.
game around it, and it's the biggest title ever for Q Games.
What they want is
Right now, it's
a
still on the
12-year-old
wraps,
who's just starting a
but I
game.
can't wait to reveal more
Well, yeah.
about
I
this
mean, the
game
same
later
thing
this
happened
year.
with music. Same thing
very
happened
much.
with
Thank you very much.
video, right?
Right.
Like it was the
Right.
purists that were like, no,
Yeah.
I could never
YouTube
not
never
own
cared
something.
about people who said, "Well, I want
Right.
my
Thanks, Dylan.
game shows."
State Share is one more
people
way
growing
that
up
Stadia
through
is
that,
working to
they wouldn't
empower
know any
developers
different.
with
That's
entirely
just the
new
way it
tools
is.
that embrace a player's desire to discover, share, and build a community. We're extremely excited by the reception it's gotten from our early partners so far. And with that, I'd like to introduce the head of gaming at YouTube to tell you what Stadia means for content creators. Please welcome Ryan Wyatt.
Beatmaster says Amazon could do the same with AWS. Think Amazon's eyeing this?
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah, and they own Twitch. I mean, certainly this is a threat
I'm
to
very
them.
excited
Yeah.
to be here at the unveiling of Stadia. As you've heard, Stadia is about delivering the best developer experience so that the best games can be made. But we're also committed to making sure we have the best creator experience so that the entire community gets stronger together. YouTube is where people come to watch gaming. More than 200 million gamers come to YouTube every single day to engage with their favorite games and creators.
Yeah, mostly to watch those
And they come because of the
pre-created videos,
community
not
of gaming
live
creators and
gameplay.
viewers who have turned YouTube into the gaming platform that it is today.
And most of those are
We're
Minecraft
always looking for ways to strengthen the connection
videos.
between creators and viewers, and Stadia is designed to bring them together.
But that's where my
like never
teenager
before.
learns all his gameplay techniques.
Gaming has always been the backbone of
He
YouTube
watches
since the
YouTube.
platform
Yep.
first was founded in 2005.
But that's a
One
different
thing YouTube
really
gaming
experience
creators
than
want
watching
is
somebody
to
play
engage with
live,
their fans.
which is an entertainment.
That will always
Right.
be the most important thing to them. That's why over 50 billion hours of gaming content was watched on YouTube last year alone. And to just give you an idea of how much 50 billion hours is, you could walk to Pluto and back more than a dozen times. Stadia is focused on empowering both creators and viewers to achieve new heights by breaking barriers of content capture and creating unique ways to engage with and grow a creator's audience.
Honestly, I think they're overstating the
Established
importance
creators
of
will have new
YouTube.
ways to engage and
given the
monetize on
success
YouTube
of
with Stadia
Twitch.
features. And with aspiring creators, we're going to break down
They
the
haven't
barrier
really
of
proved
entry
it's
and
a live
capturing
platform.
content by giving you the ability to highlight, live stream,
This
and
is
capture
aspirational.
directly from Stadia.
That's important.
We've
So,
already seen the
you know,
idea of
things like
any
OBS aren't going
being a
to
direct
work
access point into the game.
with Stadia
That is
because you're not playing
huge
on a
opportunity
computer.
for both big and
So
small
the ability
creators.
to share it.
We're empowering creators to forge deeper connections with their audience.
Can they do picture-in-picture?
And one of those
Oh, I
ways will be to
imagine
make
so.
it easier to actually
Like-
game with them. Often when you're watching a stream, you find yourself wishing you could be in there playing alongside
that's
with
kinda
your favorite
mandatory
creators.
considering what
On
they're
traditional
pitching here.
platforms, you'd have to fire up your console or your PC and just hope that you get matched up with them. However, with Stadia and a new feature called Crowd Play, you'll be able to simply click a button displayed right in the stream and jump in and play with YouTube creators that you're watching. Take a look at the video behind me. It's a live stream of NBA 2K. The person watching can simply click the link and be placed into the lobby for the next game. If you think about it, Crowd Play can act like an all-new lobby system for games.
Yep.
And with Stadia, YouTube becomes the ultimate discovery and engagement tool for content. And of course, YouTube creators will have full management capabilities over this feature.
But
To all
this
the
is
game
not a
developers,
Twitch competitor.
publishers,
This
and
is
the
something
millions
unique.
of YouTube content
But
creators
great, I
out there,
think.
Soon we'll have more information to share on these
for the
engagement
creators
tools
themselves. That's why
and
I
how we'll
wonder
be working with you
how
to
many of the
connect
Twitch,
with and build your communities.
Streamers.
I'd now like to introduce a friend of
well,
mine to the stage.
That's a really great feature that
He has
I want.
over
I will
11
switch.
million subscribers on his channel, The Game Theorist, and he and his wife, Stephanie, have often been advocates for the creator community. So we were delighted to talk to him about Stadia and what it means for creators. Please welcome to the stage my friend, Matt Pat.
Thanks, Ryan. It's an incredible honor to be here today. Now, for us creators, our audience is our lifeblood. Whether we're breaking down the real-life science of the fictional world of Fallout, or diving into the theories behind bending the ink machine, or simply streaming gameplay on our live stream channel, GT Live, we're always looking for new ways to connect and engage with our audience. Which is why, when I first met with the Stadia team, I was floored by the impact that it can have for not just gamers, but also creators. Stadia not only empowers me to easily create and share my work, but it also unlocks completely new ways for me to build a stronger bond with my audience. Crowdplay, for example, gives our audiences the chance to instantly jump into a game with us, and then the creator can feature them live on the stream in real time. Another feature that I'm incredibly excited about is State Share. Here, the possibilities are literally endless. Live streaming horror games, for instance, has been one of the most popular formats for live streaming on YouTube since its inception. But now with State Share, you can actually take this to the next level by letting the people who are just watching you replicate the exact same scenario you just played through in-game. Like,
it's not quite as horrible if you know Slender Man's behind that tree.
Maybe you need some space between you and that horror game scene. You know, give it a day. Come back to it.
Imagine
State Share till tomorrow.
Variations that creators can layer on top of all their favorite games by specifically designing challenges oriented to their unique audience. For creators, you suddenly become a game maker yourself, creating challenges.
Kind of interesting. This is kind of, in a way, the holodeck, right? It's 2D, but you can see it expanding.
Yeah. And on the other hand,
where you can create a scenario in somebody else's game and then share it with somebody. Say, let's all go in.
And fresh ways. But of course, also as a gamer, I'm looking forward to tremendously all the new possibilities of gameplay that Stadia opens up and that can be built only for Stadia. I mean, think about this. 1,000-player battle royale matches. Incredible new graphical possibilities. And of course, all of this is available across any screen. Literally, I could just pick up my phone and start playing exactly where I left off on my laptop, even while sitting in an audience of a keynote like this one.
$10 a month?
I hope you're not playing right now.
$20 a month?
Stuff happening on stage, but you could do it.
I'm guessing it has to be somewhere around $10 a month. I think that's kind of like the standard, like, oh, yet another subscription service. That's the fee that people have accepted.
I am personally thrilled about what Stadia
I pay
brings
for Microsoft Game Pass. I think it's $10 a month. Comes out to about $10 a month.
And entertainment in completely new ways that we have never seen before.
I think you go 20 and you risk a lot of rejection right at the onset.
But can you generate enough revenue for these big studios with 10?
I can't wait to see what else you guys have in store, and I'll see the rest of you on the floors of GDC.
He did that without a single jump cut. I'm so impressed.
Thanks, Ryan and Matt Pat. Connecting players and creators to their favorite games is core to our vision. We've shown you how YouTube and Stadia offer the ability for gamers to connect with content creators and game developers in extraordinary ways.
All right, price.
There is another Stadia integration with YouTube that we're really excited about.
Okay.
Designers love creating challenge. But as games reach more and more people,
I think this is an interesting side features.
Gets more and more difficult.
Using Google Assistant in your gaming.
When a player is stuck on a level or puzzle and desperately wants that next beat in the story or the breathtaking views in the next level, what do? Today, they have to leave the game, fire up YouTube,
there are quite a few games that
video,
have
scrub to the right part of that video, and watch how
voice assistants helping you in the game.
With Stadia, that help will be just a button press away.
Look at this
example from our friends.
This is so ironic that their stream is breaking up.
When a player gets stuck on a level, like me,
tomb.
instead of grabbing a laptop or a phone, they just need to push the button on the Stadia
Here's what I found on the internet.
Help from the Google Assistant.
No, I'm looking for more than that.
No distractions, No need to take your eyes off the game, and no secondary devices.
Oh, wow. That's pretty funny. It showed her a clip.
Yeah.
It's another deep way in which we're connecting players with the games they love.
I mean, I guess if Assistant actually went into the game and solved the level for you, the game developers wouldn't be too stoked about that.
To get to their favorite content and moments. With Stadia, any link can be an access point to the game. So for a developer, the entire internet can become your store. Whether it's from our Stadia store, text messages, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Discord, Google search results, YouTube videos, Gmail, or from the Google Play Store, gamers are going to be able to find, discover, and enjoy your games anywhere they are.
Do people still buy game guides, buy the books that walk through the game? I don't think so. I think they watch YouTube videos now.
Yeah, I mean, they still sell game guides.
Stadia
so somebody's
will
buying
be home to a variety of games, and we're happy to say that we will offer comprehensive parental controls for all content. We've already shipped development hardware to more than 100 studios around the world, and more than 1,000 creatives and engineers are hard at work bringing their games to our platform. In addition to partnering with developers big and small, I'm also thrilled to announce that today we are forming Stadia Games and Entertainment.
Oh, they're going to do their own studio.
Experiences designed exclusively for
that's
Stadia as Google's
that explains
own
Jade Raymond.
first-party game studio.
Yeah, they're going to do their own studio, just like Microsoft Studio.
Yep, absolutely. I think it's a great idea.
And we've recently been joined by one of the industry's most successful executive producers to lead that organization. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the new head of Stadia Games and Entertainment, Jade Raymond.
There you go. She really is kind of a rock star.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, everyone. I am so honored to be here at the unveiling of Stadia. In my career, I've been lucky enough to work with some of the most talented and passionate developers in the world. Passion is at the root of all great games, and it's what motivated me to join Google. What I love about games is that we continue to redefine what a game is. When I was 12, I saw the holodeck on an episode of Star Trek. And even though the games I played at the time were side-scrolling, pixel-based kind of games like Mega Man, it was obvious to me that one day games would take place in fully immersive worlds. Today, you have seen some incredible tech. And hopefully, like me, you now believe that we're on the brink of a huge revolution in gaming. One that will unlock
all of these
new level
glitches in their stream underscore how hard it's going to be to do a game.
There are no limits to the human imagination. Now that the data center is your platform, the processing power is limitless as well. I'm excited to announce that as the head of Stadia Games and Entertainment, I will not only be bringing first-party game studios to reimagine the new generation of games. Our team will also be working with external developers to make all of the bleeding-edge Google technology you have seen here today available to partner studios big and small. We are committed to going down the bold path, learning what is working best, and sharing key tools and tech so that we can take games to the next level together. The way I see it, there has never been a more exciting time to be a developer. And Stadia will be a driving force defining the future of games and entertainment. Thank you.
Google's going all in on this. They're going all in. It's really interesting.
And a very warm welcome to Google. With Stadia,
was that a giant
our goal is to combine the world of people
something on the stage there? I don't.
It was a bubbly.
Paul Thurrot's asking, why is there a giant fake chunk of gold on the stage?
We've shared
Is that a polygon?
Today. With Stadia, you'll be able to build your games backed by Google technology like Google Assistant, ML, and TensorFlow.
ML.
Weird.
It's
It's just like right there
and
and
to
not the
more
other side.
gamers across the globe through Chrome, Chromecast, and Pixel. And you'll be able to connect with the biggest community of gamers and YouTube content creators. So, how do you get involved? For developers who want to create content for Stadia, we welcome you to go to stadia.dev, where you can apply to get access to development tools. If you want to partner with our team at Google to help bring your game to market, we have Stadia Partners, a program designed to give you the resources your team needs to make something great. And for players who want to be the first to learn more, you can go to stadia.com and follow us on these social channels. So, when will players be able to experience Stadia? I'm thrilled to announce that Stadia is launching this year, 2019.
This year is not exactly right away. This year is as much as 9 months away.
We will launch first in the US, Canada, the UK, and most of Europe. It's been my privilege today to introduce Stadia on behalf of the thousands of Googlers who've worked tirelessly to bring this vision to life. This is the first step in the journey, and we'll be connecting with you again in the summer to share more details on the games you'll get to play at launch and beyond. Thank you very much for gathering around with all of us today. With Stadia, we can all dream bigger, and together,
to
build a
the
playground
second
every
1 hour.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very
Good job,
nicely
Google.
done.
Yeah,
That
no
is
kidding.
that shows real mastery of the keynote. And let's watch the video.
Not a box, it's a place.
See, it's a stadium tunnel.
There we go.
It's a garage. It's a cave. No boxes, no downloads, no limits. I think that's a big selling point for new gamers anyway, not gamers who don't already have the gaming PC or the console.
Plenty of questions about, for new gamers, it largely is going to come down to what's it going to cost me then?
Yeah.
All of these limitations
don't
are
know.
removed. It comes down to cost. Is this
Yeah,
fully ad
if you don't
supported
have to-
or is this a subscription service?
If you don't have to buy a $400 console,
Yeah.
well, maybe $10 or $20 a month isn't too much.
Totally.
You probably could do $20 a month.
Yeah.
The big question is Google's going to be held hostage by local internet service providers who
Yeah.
own that last mile, and
That's a big
in this country that's
challenge.
a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are terrible. It kind of is sad that Google gave up on fiber, because that really clearly now that should have been part of this whole strategy.
That could have been, a big way around the
Buy
challenges
Google
that they'll
Fiber
face
and
here.
you get Stadia for
Yeah.
free, maybe, or something like that.
I'm super pumped. Like I'm
It's really
excited
impressive.
to check this out, and hopefully it lives up to the promise. Obviously, that's a big question mark, and that's going to fuel a lot of debate until we get more information, which they said is sometime this summer. We're going to get more information about games, about the launch. I'm hoping we see something at Google I/O. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they'll have some sort of a demonstration
this year, which often means late this year.
Yeah.
So I'm not
Something for the hardware announcement towards the end of the year, possibly.
That's maybe when you get the controller.
Yeah.
I think what's most interesting here is the new things that Google's introducing to gaming, particularly the social things. The idea of a Wi-Fi controller is really smart to eliminate latency. Nobody's done that yet. The controller connects directly to the Stadia servers. The idea of multiple GPUs and multiple servers if necessary. I think the co-op gaming element's going to be big. That means all new games need to be developed for that. I think there's a potential here, a lot of potential here. Google's checked a lot of boxes, but there's still so many questions. This is almost just a sketch of something
teaser.
Google wants to do, but not clear whether they'll be able to do it.
Well, and proof that they have some really big partners in line already. So they've been able to convince them that they can do something.
Ubisoft, and I guess we saw some other names there, but I didn't see Electronic Arts. I didn't see a lot of the.
True.
You don't have Fortnite on here. Is Is this viable? I don't know. I don't know. You don't have Minecraft.
Fortnite is the new Fortnite. Put Doom on everything.
Yeah, you don't have Apex Legends, whatever right. You have Doom, which is really only speaks out to an audience that's pretty old. So I think they've got a long way to go still. This is just planting a flag. My initial thoughts were, if they're going to launch this soon, that means E3 is completely changed, and Microsoft and Sony and Amazon are jumping and struggling. But you know what? I think they got time now. In a way, Google has tipped their hand.
Right.
And I think there's no reason. I think you brought it up. The Amazon, maybe they could do this, or maybe they could at least make an attempt. They're going to be able to soften the blow for sure. And Microsoft's going to have time, and Sony's going to have time to soften the blow for sure.
Yeah, I'm curious to see the reaction also from the actual creators,
developers.
The streamers, the developers, but especially also the streamers. If Twitch has been the dominant platform as it has been, and now you've got the potential of these games having functionality built into them that works directly with the platform. That sounds really impressive, but if people aren't there to receive that or to interact, or someone mentioned in the chat room the possibility of someone taking over the gameplay or
the fact that
jumping
Google,
in there and doing something that the streamer doesn't actually
Google
want.
brought up Matt Pat and not Ninja, I think is very telling. They don't have these guys, these big streamers on Twitch, and they may never get them. Think about the investment that Ninja, for instance, has put into his Twitch stream, the community he's built there. You can't just move them. We've seen this before. Facebook tried to do the same thing to YouTube. They tried to get all the creators move over to Facebook. They even threw millions of dollars at them and were unable to do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of inertia. So I think Google's best play at this point is to do something completely new, completely different, and new. There's always going to be a new crop of creators and try to attract new creators. I don't think you're going to bring in the old creators. And I think the fact that the best they could do is Matt Pat on stage. Nothing wrong with Matt Pat, but he is not the kind of person you're really trying to go after. He's a guy who creates edited, videos that people watch. That's not a live streaming.
Right.
And they didn't bring it up any with live streaming, just as they didn't really bring up any other big games.
No.
So I think Google has, this is a very Google play where they developed with their engineering brains a complete platform, and they thought up a lot of great stuff. But just like Google Plus was this great social platform that nobody went to, they've got to somehow find a way to bring people.
Allo was a great messaging platform that nobody went to.
Yeah, this is very Google.
Yes.
They do everything right, but they miss the most important part.
Yeah. Oh, you're so right. And that's, I think I tweeted it out earlier, leading up to this. Someone on Twitter was like, yeah, I can't wait for Google to abandon this 3 years from now. And the unfortunate thing is Google has done that to itself.
And they have to overcome that.
They have to overcome that. And that's a really big ask. People at this point are very used to Google killing its darlings.
That's why if I'm Ninja, if I'm a streaming gamer, I don't go. I say, I'm making millions on Twitch. I'm happy. Let's see what Amazon's going to give me.
Somebody else can take that chance.
Somebody who's never done it before, who says, this game state thing, I have some very good. I think that's where you're going to attract indie developers. You attract developers who say, this is a new way of gaming. And I think you're also going to attract a large crop of casual gamers who don't have consoles, they don't have gaming PCs, who might want to try a game on their Android device or their Pixel or their Chromecast. I mean, that's kind of amazing that with it's an $80 device, a Chromecast Ultra, plugged into your big screen TV. Maybe you buy this probably $60 gaming controller and suddenly you're playing high-quality games.
Yeah.
That's a whole new audience, though. That's not the people who already have Xboxes. So I think this is a future play, and the proof's going to be in the pudding. And again, it's a shame, but Google is really hostage to the last mile, the people on the last mile. And they are the worst monopolistic, junky companies ever that are providing us with internet in this country. And those guys are, it's like having to deal with the mob.
Yes. Google, with all of its resources, tried to take them on and still couldn't.
They couldn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, fascinating, really interesting stuff. I'm so glad you were here, Jason Howell, our Android guru from All About Android, will be on later today.
Yeah, absolutely. Tonight we'll definitely be talking about this, talk about Android Q, which we have installed on my phone.
I installed it on my Pixel 3 too. What do you like? What do you think? Is it?
I mean, it's so early. I flashed it yesterday Because I wanted to let the dust settle a little bit. I didn't want to jump into it.
I lost
and
my
then feel
dark mode. That's the only thing I'm unhappy about, but I'm sure we'll find a way to turn that back on.
I'm sure there is a way. So we're going to talk all about that tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We thank you for joining us for this special broadcast of Google's GDC keynote. Stadia, they've announced it, but when will it drop?
What now?
Yeah. Thanks. We'll see you next time.